Haha. What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? You know it's your homie. It's Prince Cole. I ain't with the gang today. The gang is in the gang is always in effect. You know what I'm saying? They always here. They working. And
Take
I'm
care of
working.
business.
You know what it is. But I do got my homie, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Been knowing each other for a
Hmm.
long time, almost 20 years.
Boy,
Yeah, so I got my homie Dev up in here. So Dev, say what
what's
up to the people.
going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a good afternoon.
Shizzle. We live today, so I gotta make sure the page is being shared. So I hope y'all can come up on it, come on in here. I'm gonna share this on my
On the book.
yeah, share it on the book, you know what I'm saying? I shared it on my page. You can take it and copy, share it on your page. Hope some people come up in here. We got one person in here watching already.
Oh yeah. You
I don't
know
know
what?
who it is.
Mm,
Whoever up in here, good how you doing? What's good? Whoever in this mug watching. I'll give it a second. Let some people rock up in here if they rock it in here.
mm, mm, mm. I know you glad to be off, bro.
Yeah, man, it's a special episode right here, man. I had to take care of some business so your boy can get back to work. But you know what I'm saying? We figured we get a show in while we off work. My man's gonna hit up his job later because you know he got that midnight life.
Horrible.
It's horrible. I did
It's
it,
not
bro.
for the weak.
I did it for 3 years, bro. I hated it.
I know. I'm still here, man. I'm gonna get off this shit, man. I
We don't know, but we can definitely get started on this thing if you're ready, my guy. People may
do it.
rock up here as they rock. So
Hmm.
first of all, I want you to tell people a little bit about yourself, bro. Since you a newcomer, all the newcomers, we got them come in here explain a little thing about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Name is Devin Williams. Me and Steve been friends for a long time. I grew up in Detroit, East Side, along with him.
Oh yeah,
Um, I am 30 years old right now. I
yeah,
got a
30
bachelor's,
gang.
just received a bachelor's degree in social work last year. Currently, right now, I'm working at Amazon, trying to get up out of there. You already know how it is. Actually, start a career, and been married for almost 10 years. That's me.
Oh yeah, for shizzle. That's dead right there. You already know me. It's Prince Cole Gang Gang. But we're gonna get rocking with this first topic. First of all, let me get all the yard work out the way. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I got it going live on right now. Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can get on the Mansplainitthen page, show some love, follow. Just keep it coming. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the gang back in this mug sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? But everybody doing their thing. We're trying to get it all back together. But subscribe to the YouTube page, follow the page on Facebook. You know, yeah, I got some topics or some concerns or anything like that. Holla at us, let us know. Keep showing love. We're gonna keep pushing out this content for y'all. So in that case, we're gonna go to this first topic, right? We got this first topic right here. Do you think waiting to settle for a relationship is a good or a bad idea in the modern day? Let you let you tackle that first.
Well, in my opinion, I think it is. I think that it is a not a good idea. Not a good idea to do um, from a woman's perspective, because a lot of the men that I think women want, a lot of men that I think women want, by the time, if they choose to wait, by the time they hit their, let's say, obviously 30, that
Mhm.
number starts to dwindle, and it starts to dwindle very quickly, right?
Right, right,
So I think women buying option when it comes to dating, or just their their dating pool, you have a large selection of men when you're younger and when you're more attractive. And I know this may sound a little bit controversial, but when you're younger, more attractive, and be honest, fertile.
Right.
And yeah, so if we keep choosing to wait, keep choosing to uh think that maybe something is better out there, and it just might not be, in today's age, I think.
From I just think no matter how much people like to make it seem like there's not no wall for there's a wall for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a wall for men, it's a wall for women. But for women, you got like a short window of like finding somebody you could potentially build a life with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for black women, you could push that to 40. You know what I'm saying? You could push that, because black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? Some of these women out here still looking good at 40, so you could probably push that a little further. But I think in general, I just think they teach you nowadays it's modern era to have fun, live your life, live your 20s out, and they make it seem like somebody settling for a relationship at an early age or getting married at an early age, there's something wrong with that. Oh, you ain't experienced enough, you ain't dated enough, you ain't did enough to like settle yet. But
Hmm.
if somebody chooses to operate their life that way, I don't think there's nothing wrong. If a 22-year-old say I want to be married and be a mother with kids and stuff like my aspirations of life is to be a mother and a wife, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Like they make it seem like it's something wrong with that
Hmm.
So I'm like, I be thinking to myself like, that's crazy. Like why do they like push that kind of agenda on people? Because they want everybody working and career driven. And I just think it's
And
not. Go ahead.
uh, just to add on that, I think one of the biggest lies that we tell people is that 30 is the new 20. Like,
Yeah,
no, the hell it's not. It's not
I don't.
definitely not. Then 30 is 30, and your 20s are your 20s. And i- if you were to really look into who's telling these young women that, you know, live your life, you can wait, put off this and put off that. Honestly, it's older women, our aunties and our older people in our family that's telling younger women that they have options and they should wait and play the field or do whatever
Yeah,
instead of preparing yourself for it to be a wife. From a young age, men already know that we have to provide and we have to develop ourselves so we can become successful men and we can have family.
right,
Whereas the preparation for women is it doesn't really happen until they hit that wall and realize I have to change or I have to switch up some things to make myself more conducive to be a wife to the husband that they want.
right. So like you think like women know
I,
that like sometimes that's a bad idea. Like they waiting all the way to 30 to 35 to decide like okay now I want to be married and have kids and junk now.
Absolutely, I think it's almost obvious, and I
Bam
think
said what's
women just
good. What's good, Bambino? That's the other Mansplaining gang
what's
right
up,
there. Gang
what's
gang.
up,
What's
Brendan?
good?
You doing? You busy right now, bro? You working?
I'm pretty sure he working. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he working.
Hmm.
But yeah. What was you saying, my guy?
Yeah. I think women do know that that there's a clock. There's
Do
clock
you
for
think they
them.
know though? Do you really think they know?
I think they do know, but I don't. I think a lot of women are like that cognitive dissonance type of thing. They see that, but they don't. I don't think they believe that it is the truth, despite all the results. So that there is an article going around on social media, whatever, about I think it's by Psychology Today or psychology.com or whatever, and
You tuned in.
it talks about it talks about the rise and loneliness in single men.
Okay.
And I think that's somewhat telling to what the women experience, because if there is a rise in single men, then there has to be a a decrease in women who are married,
Right.
right? Isn't that sort of the opposite effect? But with articles like that, I think that the data in those articles that have to be skewed because why aren't we putting out the decreasing amount of um marriage marriages?
Well,
So if
they
men are alone, if the men are becoming more lonely, what are the women becoming?
well the women are becoming more depressed. So they say this is probably the age of probably the most depressed women ever in history at this point in
You
time.
think the women are becoming more depressed?
Yeah, they are because they're being told that they can have everything and do everything all at once, and they can't. So a lot of women are depressed by this because they be like, "Well, I was told I could do all that," and then they do it, and they try to do it, and they realize that it's actually harder to do. You get more depressed. You know what I'm saying? You start like thinking like, "Oh, this ain't what it's all cracked up to be. I don't want to be a mom and work and be a wife and take care of kids. I don't want to do all that." But they tell people, "Oh, you strong. You can do all that and still be happy." And a lot of them try to do all that and can't, and it's like it's too much. Like some of you got to like to give and take. You some stuff you wanted to give up, like you got to dedicate yourself to something. You can't just be good at every. You could be decent at everything, but you can't be great at everything. Some things are going to lack because you got to put energy in other things. So if your aspirations is to be a wife and a mother, then you like, oh, I could just focus on that. But if your aspiration is like, I want to have a career, I want to be a wife and a mother, I want to have children, I want to do that, I want to do all that, and I want to do all that at once. Because women are really they great multitaskers. So to say they'd be like, oh, I can do all that and still be happy, it's unrealistic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that
kind of what I mentioned earlier about just the realization of life for men is sort of immediate, kind of like that. And
mhm.
with women, they have, well, they think they have time,
Right.
and they just
Nobody
don't.
has time.
No, it's not really anybody's favor. But yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to settle down. Dude, as soon as I think women should really look at the men around them and just find the best suitor. Simply, just find the best suitor before they kind of loud, Brody. Yeah,
Yeah. On that
I think
note,
that
on that note, yeah, I think we made our point with that question. So,
for sure.
got any more to say about that one, or you want to move on?
Now we can move on to the next question.
I can move on. All right, this one's gonna be a deep one. Is the red pill community right about their strong views on women in marriage? Now, I'm being honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went through a bad relationship, and I think that what I what I buried myself in was red pill content. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
buried myself in, and all that shit
Mm-hmm.
made sense at the time because I was hurt and I was dealing with the pain of a failed relationship that I felt that I put all my energy into, and I felt like I was a good suitor and I was a good mate and I got played to a certain degree and
Mm-hmm.
got used. And I ain't gonna say I was perfect, but I felt like I got used in a situation. I felt like all the things that I assumed in that relationship about the woman I was with, it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? So in this sense, I had a wake up call, and what I buried myself in was red pill content because they gave me a whole different view on what I thought about, like how like they taught me like female nature. And they gave me a different perspective on how to look at women and marriage and
Mm-hmm.
things that I never like had the perspective on before. I didn't have that kind of perspective on. I feel like their views are extreme, but I don't feel like a lot of stuff they saying is wrong. They saying a lot of stuff that like makes sense and is right. A lot of it is extreme, but I don't think they're completely wrong. Strong views, yes, but I don't think they're
Mm-hmm.
completely wrong. I don't think they're completely right either. Um, but if I had to go with, I just think like the ideal of oh, if you can't find a woman to get on your schedule and on your program, X her out and don't ever get married because you're gonna lose everything, and don't deal with no single moms, and don't like it's just far left extreme shit that I feel like it's subjective. It's up for whoever the person is to decide how they want to deal with with women in their life. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
every situation of a man like putting himself in a predicament with a woman that doesn't seem right to the people in the red pill. It's not like simp activity. Like it's not always simp shit to be like,
Yeah,
yeah, I want
yeah,
a family and kids. Like I want to have a family and I want a girl around who I want a wife. Like it's not simp shit to say you want to take care of your woman and you want to be the sole provider in your household and you want to take your woman out for ice cream and take your kid. Like some of the weird stuff that they say, they'd be like, bro, come on, bro. Like
yeah. They can really get out of hand with doing something that is actually beneficial for the women and absolutely not beneficial for you. Like doing something for them, like an act of service of some sort,
right,
right?
they
Um,
don't want you doing shit.
yeah, I got to point out though, man. You were the first person to um tell me about this red pill stuff.
Yeah,
Back in the day, when we both were working midnights,
yeah,
doing security, and I didn't know exactly what you were informing me of until a few years ago. And I remember, like, you know what, Steve was telling me about this stuff. I remember you talking to me about like shit test, the idea of women shit testing men, and
yeah,
I see that all the time now, like,
yeah.
all the stuff, all the pointers you were trying to give me. But the red pill community, I think it can be a little like these guys. I don't know if you agree with me, but some of these guys' ego can be a little bit fragile, a little bit, like
I agree.
they can be a little bit too reactive to some things that don't need the attention. But
They a little
when it
too yeah, it's a little too sensitive about certain things that I feel like don't doesn't really need that kind of energy.
Yeah, like when they talk about the idea of being a man and your interests and your hobbies and stuff like that, and they try to mention certain like what type of car you should drive, or you should have an iPhone. I was like, that's like this stuff don't
Just
have
it's
anything to do with the
extreme.
man.
It's
Yeah, it's
extreme.
extreme stuff, and it made me question some of the stuff that I some of the stuff that I've watched and listened to. Kind of made me question, myself as a man. Like, I like listening to this type of music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And 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 they'll say like, well, this like R&B, right?
Hmm.
You and I, right? I like
Definitely.
R&B. I
Yeah.
love that
I'm a
genre.
huge fan of R&B. Yes.
Soul and R&B. I love that genre.
Yeah.
To them, this is the type of music that the whole cater to um the whole idea of catering to women or simp behavior kind of
Yeah.
came from,
Hmm.
you know, just like that, or the type of car you should drive and stuff like that. Some stuff is just too extreme and has nothing to do with being a man, and that part of the real pill community just is ridiculous, you know. But like you said, for the most part, they're
Wait,
pretty
disclaimer.
spot.
Wait,
Yeah,
disclaimer.
yeah.
Or not necessarily disclaimer. Let's give me like context, right? If
Okay,
y'all do not know what the red pill community is, it's basically a community of people on YouTube. We gonna say YouTube because that's typically where I found them at. It's a
sure.
community of people of men on YouTube that has, I guess you could say, maybe they've been hurt, maybe they've had a lot of bad experience with women, maybe they haven't had any experiences with women. It's only stuff that they've seen or heard from other men, and they created a community online to basically talk about the ramifications of dealing with women in modern day era. That's basically what they are, right? They have a
Yep.
very strong view on these things, and to the point sometimes where it's like completely like fuck women. We ain't dealing with them at all. We don't want them in our life. All we're gonna do is get
Mhm.
this money and keep living. Like it's to that kind of extreme. So if y'all don't know what the red pill community is, go on YouTube, look up red pill, and find out what these dudes be on there talking about. You may hear some shit. You be like, what the like I say, it ain't all
Yeah.
wrong. It ain't all right either. So
Mhm.
do your
It
research.
basically their whole deal is just the dynamics between men and women in modern day society, which revolves around dating and basically in every aspect, men and
Yeah.
the relationship between men and women. That's real. All right.
I mean, and the marriage thing too, right? There's a pro and a con to it because in this day and age, it's like, oh, the only bad thing about it is people that most men are focusing on is the fact that you can get all your money taken from you, right? They do have
Mm-hmm.
prenups. There's ways to get out of prenups,
Yes,
but
sir.
and there's no benefit at all for the man in a marriage, right? Most people look at marriage as like, okay, it was all the wedding is all about the woman, the marriage is all about the woman, right? For a guy like you who's been married for 10 years, you pretty much can talk more about this than I can. I'm not married, I ain't never been married, but for
Mm-hmm.
one thing, you know that most people when they talk about marriage, they assuming that the man is not getting anything out of it from a standpoint of just like it's all about her, and uh, the only thing, man, and then nowadays too, they got the statistics on like they say sex actually decreases when you get married. So you on top of you not benefiting from nothing in marriage, you ain't getting no ass either. So as
Mm-hmm.
much as you probably was before. So like a lot of men
I
looking like,
mean,
well, what's the
shoot.
point?
Look,
Like,
I'm gonna say this, man. So before marriage, sex was more than enough.
right,
Almost too much, right?
right,
It does decrease when you get married, but it's like an exaggeration of that. It's like, oh, you only doing it once every few months or something like that, or once every month, or what? Like, nah, it is not like that. Trust me, I have plenty of sex. I
still
mean,
got life though.
did last night. So like it being honest, man, I'm just being honest. Like, but with the whole red pill and the marriage thing, right? They they do make it seem like that there is no benefits with men when it comes to marriage. Not entirely, right?
Right.
And a lot of things are more so for the women. Like for example, in my marriage, right? Um, for the most part, when it comes to, let's see, when it comes to I'm trying to think, bro. Let's say like when it comes to like buying house, buying a car, or buying or something like that, right? Material things, that is
Yeah.
absolutely more towards the women. You know, like when it came to getting the house that we got, I'm like, baby, I just want what I want, bare minimum, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, right? Like bare minimum, like 3 bedroom, 2 bath. You choose the house,
Right.
and no matter what house you choose, I'm gonna have my little man cave,
For sure.
right? And just because I'm providing all this, I'm giving that. Of course, I'm gonna have that. Like it's a
Right.
no brainer. But um um, what I get in return, right? The obvious stuff. My wife does cook for me. My wife does clean for me. My
Right.
wife does support me. My wife does cooperate with me. So there is no
So you think
battle.
it's
There's
a you think it's a men not choosing the right women? You
That's what
think
I'm
that's what
trying to
the issue
get
is?
to.
Okay.
If if men did choose the right partner, then the marriage is absolutely beneficial to both parties. Of course, it is. Um, but I think a lot of men are waking up to that, and where I think men are
Hold on, just a
vetting
second,
women.
my guy. Keep talking. Hold on, just a
I
second.
think women are. I mean, I think men are vetting women a little bit more, being more intentional of what they want out of the marriage or that person. And I think men are just becoming more careful. Hence the study that says the rise of loneliness in men, because men feel like that, just like women feel that there aren't many options, right? But um, yeah, I think men are overcoming that and just becoming more careful in general. But choosing the right partner is just so pivotal. Like it could be the most important thing you can do in your life, and that partner has to want the same thing that you want um, out of the marriage. Like I know my wife, we want the same thing, and we have each other. You know, if no one else does, we have each other. And if your partner have that same, you know, that same thought process, and I don't see how marriage can fail. In my opinion, I don't see how it can fail. If y'all on the same page and every milestone, every goal, and all that stuff, um, kids, house, blah blah blah, and I don't think marriage can really fail. Hmm. What you doing there, brother? I think being married almost 10 years, right? I think the absolute most important thing to a marriage is trust and communication. Those things probably go hand in hand together. Um, like with my wife, I don't hold nothing back. We don't go to bed with nothing on our minds, right? Nothing is just sitting in there dormant back in our mind, trying to wait until our opportunity where we want to blow up or something like that, right? We discuss everything. We don't hold anything back from each other. Completely honest with each other, right? Transparent and having that trust, having that trust with each other. Um, it builds a great like backbone for the marriage. Okay. When he gets back, we'll move on to the next question. Steve been trying to get me on here for a minute. We have opposite schedules between me, him, Brendan, and Devron. Actually, I wish you can get on, Brendan. It's all good, man. Get that money. Steve, come back, Brody. Yes, me and Steve go way back, way back. Like you said, about 20 year friendship that we have. We what's up?
My bad, guy. I'm sorry. Some work stuff called. I apologize.
Oh, you good? I
Yeah.
try to keep.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
I got a
I'm
little
back. I'm
dog.
back in. Let's get a little doll in here. But we back. We back. We back. We back. Ain't nobody in here, but I wish somebody was in here. So y'all need to get on up in here and watch this
Oh,
thing.
word. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's all right. We here talking. But we can move on. If you're ready to move on.
Yep.
All
Third
right.
question is
We're gonna move on to the third question, which is how do black men become leaders in our communities again? So this is a especially special question for my man Deb. He required he wanted to talk about this, wanted to get into this, something he feels passionate about. So we're gonna get into it.
absolutely, man. Uh, this question I think is very important because in order for Black people to have that unity that we once had, this needs to happen, right? When we look at every other culture of people, right? We look at every other culture of people in the world.
Yeah.
The leaders of those communities are the men. Now you can just easily say, well, why aren't the men leading, right?
Right.
Well, I think when you compare what has happened to Black men in America versus everywhere else,
Yeah.
it won't take long to understand why we are a little behind, right? But we get resentment, we get pushback from our women when we try to take this role
Okay.
because women have been in this role for so long. They have adapted to this role. It didn't just come out of nowhere, right? Anywhere. They have adapted to this role, and they have to be the breadwinner of the house, and they have to
Why
be,
though?
because of the position that they put in, because there's a lack of black men leaders in the house. Just being real. So this is gonna come down on men, and expose some, and probably expose some things, the behavior of black women in our community right now. So
Well, you know, they always they always make a point about talking about this. As they go back to the '80s as far as the crack era when they started pulling black men out of the black families. So
absolutely, man. So it goes back even further than that. It goes back all the way to the civil rights movement, because
mm,
what people don't know is that a little after the civil rights movement came, like a whole bunch of other bill, a whole bunch of other host of bills that directly affected us more than anyone else.
yeah,
Talking about the welfare bill,
yeah,
right? Of course, in order for a family or a single mother to receive welfare, it was not supposed to be a man in the house in order to
right,
receive it. So that's an incentive to not have a male in the home, for black women to not having a male in the home, so they can receive this benefit, which
mm,
provided for the family, kids, and everything.
right,
Now that disproportionately happened to black men, right? And of course, leading up to, um um you just mentioned, leading up to the 80s, and you have
yeah,
the war on drugs, the so-called war on drugs, right?
right,
That Ronald Reagan started,
right.
and of course that disproportionately affect black and brown people too in our own space. So
So
that kind of, all those programs and movements kind of displaced black men outside of the home, right? And just completely tore up the uh the black family unit.
right.
So I'm gonna let you go. I still got more to say.
See, I mean, I don't know how, like, it's different because it's you got too many different people following too many different things nowadays because of the internet. The internet has opened the world so big that, like, it's just multiple. There's too many groups of people doing different things, and too
Right.
many, and all the groups all think their theories and their perspectives on the way things work is right, right?
Uh-huh.
You got the black community, you got the Latin community, you got the LGBT community, you got all these different communities of people doing different things, and they all think their theories on life is right. So
Hmm.
you'd be like, how can we become leaders again? I don't think you can, because
You
you
can.
know, well, maybe so, but for me, I don't think, because like like it's so many different people to follow. So it's like people will be following you one day, they'll be following you one day, but then they'll find some other reason to follow somebody else the next. So I just feel like it's too much room for people to flip flop as far as like when you had Martin Luther King, he was like the only one, like, at that time. Well, I won't say he was the only one, but he just had a big strong following.
Well,
And I don't know. I just think the following is too open. Like, it's too many different people, too many different people to follow. There's too many people who think all their theories and they ways of life is right. So I just think it's too
uh-huh.
much information. It's too much information for people to be like, well, who should I follow then? Like, who are the leaders? If they think they right and they think they right, who the leaders then? You know what I'm saying? Like, because who are we to say that somebody else's extreme views on life is right, and say our shit is wrong, or say they shit is
Hmm.
wrong, all right? Who's to say all that? Because that's what Twitter is all about. They like, no, these people are wrong and these people are right. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? For you to be like, how do you become a leader in the community again? It's just basic
This
moral things that you should follow. We all know
mm,
that. It's basic moral things that a leader should have.
right. So,
Right.
getting back, since you mentioned that, basic things that we can follow. So there's there's some basic things that we can work on just as men. Now, you mentioned Martin Luther King or a leader. I'm not even really talking about a leader of the community as in like that, like
Yeah.
singular person or something like that.
Are you talking about just leaders of your
I'm
own
talking about
households?
yes,
Okay, okay, I get what you mean.
yes.
Okay,
Now, now the onus is more so on men,
okay, yeah, I
to
agree.
be honest with you, because as soon as women see that there are masculine black men on their stuff and doing everything they supposed to
Subjective,
take to to um to take care of the family and being the actual leader, right?
right?
I'll say a lot of black women will fall in place. And what I mean by fall in place, they'll hop on board and look and accept that man as a leader and renounce
Subjective,
and yes, and renounce the them as the role or them as being the backbone of the community. Now, like I said, these women will have to renounce, okay,
right? Which I think is like
that
it's
whole bullshit. Now, well, that's the hard
right.
part. It's
That's
like,
and
do
that's
we
that right exactly. That's the point
do
I was
we
mentioning
believe?
about. It's too many things to follow. Women
Yeah,
got too
like
many
do
outlets
do
to
we
go to.
do yeah, and do we believe that women would actually do that? The thing is, whether we believe it or not, we should still do it.
I agree, we should, but
Whether they want to fall in place or not, eventually they gonna hop on board.
yeah,
I'm
it may
telling you,
take a while. I
it
agree with
may
you.
take a while.
I agree
It
with you,
may take
but
a while, and for them to get tired of doing this, strong independent crap. Eventually, they'll look at black men and gain respect for them, and acknowledge them as leaders.
the reason why
Now,
I
like,
say look, the reason why I say it's subjective is because, like I said, it's too many outlets to feed people's ego, right? So
true.
even if a chick want to follow, let's say she got a man around, so a bunch of group of men around, like, oh, I like how they move, I like how they operate, I want to
Mm-hmm.
follow a man like
Mm-hmm.
that, right? They still got stuff over here that feeds how they feel about society and they self to listen to. So you got a woman who actually want to be wholesome and be a wife and be a and follow behind a strong man, but also you got this city girl shit over here that she can listen to and kind of skewer her view on how she look at men and how she look at herself, like, and things that she feel like she capable of doing, and like it's kind of the stuff skews their views on how they feel about themselves. So it's like, well, I ain't gotta be, I could be a city girl and I could be, but no, you can't. Like I could be a city girl and still be wholesome and follow my man, and also be a city girl. You know what I'm saying? Be about this money, talking this shit about. That's what I'm saying. Like it's too many
Mm-hmm.
things, too many pick points for people to just be like, I like what they talking about, but I also like what these people talking about too. So I follow them, but I also follow these people as well. So
But
it
the
ain't.
thing is, the two different lifestyles, right?
Yeah,
One leads one way, and then the other leads the other way.
right.
Meaning, meaning if men actually, you know, became black men actually became leaders of our community, and we led us
Uh huh.
leading, it's gonna go for nowhere but prosperity. Like it's not the community is not gonna get worse with black men taking control.
I don't
It's
think
not
so.
gonna get
I
worse.
agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just
Point
saying
now
this is
given
tough.
this is my observation of black women being the so-called the backbone of the community, right?
Yeah.
The state of the black community right now, this is controversial. The state of the black community right now, from here all the way to 60, is because of black women.
Okay.
Now, listen. Now, I know that's a lot, right? But listen, we still have to call out racism, all that systemic bullshit, all that stuff. Yes,
right.
yes, that is a factor. But still, nonetheless, who is still the leader of the community, so-called
Hmm.
black woman? So I'm saying, if you're gonna take on that title, well, you
By
gotta take
default,
on that,
though.
huh?
They leaders by default.
Because of what we've been through, you're saying, because as a people?
As in, like, they're getting pushed in that position by default. Like, as in, like you said, some
They
of the
may
men
be
ain't.
pushed. They may be pushed in that position,
Yeah,
but they accept it.
right. But
So what I'm saying is, if
some women don't even necessarily. Well, okay. I was about to say some women
no,
don't
they
necessarily.
they accept it.
Okay,
They
okay, yeah,
accept
yeah.
that.
All right,
Black
I hear
women
you.
accept that crap. They wear the badge of honor. So this is what I'm saying. If you're gonna have that
Wait, hold on. I
title,
got a comment.
okay, absolutely, man. He's
Absolutely, my
100%
guy.
right.
I
In
agree with
every
you, my guy.
aspect, in every aspect of society, um, black men or even men in general are becoming second class citizens to women, and we definitely are becoming emasculated. Um, I mean, you have to become emasculated in order for women to take over, right? So
Not who
this is
though.
this like all the things I just mentioned, all the programs, all the systemic
Oh, okay, yeah,
bullcrap.
right, right, right.
And I'm not trying to blame anybody. We have to be honest, because of our own choices too.
Yeah,
So what I was about to say to you, man, what I was about to say before that comment, I was about to say, if black women are going to take that title
yeah,
as at the backbone of the community, you have to take the responsibility that comes with it as well.
yeah. If
So
you gonna wear
meaning
it, yeah, you gotta deal with
you
the
gotta you
consequences of
gotta
it. Yeah,
take the good, bad, and the ugly. We have to accept that all the child molestation that happened on the black woman's watch, all the drug use that happened on the black woman's watch, all
yeah,
the
that's
you
deep.
understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know
It
exactly what
goes
you're saying.
it goes deep.
It
Now
goes deep.
now black women, I mean women would say, well, what about the men? Right?
Right,
We understand that men have a host of things that we should work on. But if we're going to be honest and have an honest conversation, all these things happen on your watch,
right,
meaning you're that black woman or woman being the leader of community. It don't work, in my opinion. It just doesn't work. That
right.
doesn't mean that you're not going to have successful people out of it, but there's more negatives than positives. And I think for black men to gain that respect it's almost like you got to win back, or in some sense. In order for black men to gain that respect back, we got to work on ourselves. We really do. Being as
Yeah,
men, as masculine men.
it's gotta come. It gotta work on both parties though. Like
Absolutely.
we can't have a bunch of men out here leading and then they have no one to lead. So it's like, yeah, we can be leaders, we can change
Right.
ourselves and change within ourselves, and maybe they eventually see. But it does fall a little bit on because one like you said, like some of the women are like in the positions of being leaders, but one aspect you speak of about being a leader is realizing when you need help, right? That's one
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of being a leader. When you're a leader, you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand your own strengths and weaknesses as a leader, right? If you know as a leader that your household needs a man in your household, right? Needs a
Mm-hmm.
functioning masculine man in the household to balance out the dynamics of your household, where the kids in the household aren't just hearing feminine words, or not necessarily feminine words, but not just always feeding off of feminine energy all the time. Like that's all they're
Yep.
getting.
Yep.
Like you should understand as a leader that you like, okay, these kids need masculinity energy around because they need a balance of that. They don't need to just hear my voice all the time. You know what I'm saying? They need to hear men. So not necessarily you got to have them in your house, but you take them somewhere where there's other men around. There's grown men. Take them to youth homes or take them to places where men are mentoring kids, and you know what I'm saying. So like I
Mm-hmm.
said, like you said, like when it comes to being a leader, you have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. You got to be responsible for the decision making that goes on around you. You can't say, "Oh yeah, I'm a leader and I do this and that," but you don't want to be responsible for the bad decisions you also made as well by
Yep.
not having some father figures around your kids, whether it's uncles or like I said, youth homes, taking them around, putting them in sports around coaches, and you know, what I'm saying some people that's going to help them develop a little bit. That's on you. So you can't get mad at nobody if you be like, well, my son grew up and he's soft and he ain't got no, you know what I'm saying, he don't have no, I know masculine bone in him. You know what I'm saying? He don't understand it. Like they growing up soft, being crybabies, don't know how to handle adversity, don't know how to handle rejection, don't know how to handle any aspect of things that men deal with that makes you stronger as a man. Like you don't know how to handle none of that. And I could be honest, like I've been there, you know what I'm saying, not being able to handle adversity, you know what I'm saying, being a little bit too sensitive to things that I know for a fact I had no control over, like just doing stuff out of character, or just doing stuff to the point where it's like these things don't benefit me as a man. I need to learn how to take these things full on and change accordingly so I can be better as a person. So, like I said, as a leader, you also got to realize when you need help and you need to like defer to others. So, as a man, as men, we know that. Some men know that. Some men are ego driven. They don't always know that. But most men, we understand that. Like, yeah, I'm a leader, but if it's another man around here that's good at something that I'm not good at, I'm gonna defer to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got that, bro? All right, cool. You got that, cool. I know I ain't great at that. You great at that. I'm gonna defer to you, my guy. I'm gonna let you handle that. You know what I'm saying? So as a great leader, that's how you should roll. You know what I'm saying? But it's different. Like I said, too many shit to look, too much research, too much stuff to look at, too many people to follow. What do you do? Who do you follow? You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I, some people may have, but I still haven't given up on black people to
Mm-hmm.
make some type of change. I will never. And black
Yeah.
women.
Right.
As far gone that some black women may be, I still haven't given up on them because they still overwhelmingly choose black men. Like there's
Right.
still an interest in having that black family. As long as we have that, and there's more men leaving than
Mm-hmm.
black women. So as long as we have that with each other, that dynamic or that possibility to have that unit, then I won't give up on black.
Me either, man. I never give up on my own culture. I believe in black women. I believe in black love. I believe in a black family. Right. I want a black family. I'm trying to build a black family. I am trying to be the leader of my household by being the one who takes on the burden of the responsibility in the house and being able to make decisions that may not be the greatest of
Detrimental
decisions
to the
sometimes.
family.
Yeah,
Yep.
it may not. My perspective is only one perspective. I may not have the best ideas all the time, but I'm willing to make those hard decisions when it comes to like you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the dynamic of my household. I'm willing to do that. So,
Hmm.
but that goes into this next question, which is going to be even more controversial than this one. You know what I'm saying? If you ready to move on, you got something
Let's
else to
do
say
it.
about this? Okay, we're
Now
gonna
we
move.
good. Let's do it.
All right, we'll move on to this one, which is as a man, if any man in here watching, how do you feel about the dynamic of 50-50 living arrangements? I saw a video of a guy talking about the only man that only people who have an issue with 50-50 arrangements or they talk about like going 50-50 with women is like American black men. Like they're the only ones that's like okay with the ideal of like going 50-50 with women. Right. Now
Right.
I'm one that believe I see both sides of it, right? There were men commenting under the video saying like, well, I'm not gonna put my energy into like paying everything for a woman who's still gonna like go out on the weekends to the club, this and that, and she gonna use the this and that, this and that. I never understood those arguments because I feel like as a grown ass individual, man or woman, if there are certain things that you're not willing to deal with, why deal with them? So I had a conversation with my girl, and I was telling her like I think some people who like drama focus sometimes jump in relationships of things and with people who they know for a fact are doing things that they don't agree with, but they get
Hmm.
in relationships with them and then complain about these things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Hmm.
I be thinking to myself, like, who makes a comment about, well, I ain't about to go, I'm only gonna go 50-50 with a chick because I feel like she gonna be partying at the club on Saturdays all the time. Why you with a chick if you don't want your chick partying and at the club all the time? Why you with a chick who doing that?
Why you pick her?
Well,
Yep.
exactly. There you go. Why you pick her, bro? So I
Hmm.
never understood those points that dudes make because it's like, bro, you in control of who you pick, bro. Like you in control of that.
Absolutely.
You don't want somebody doing shit that you don't agree with. Don't pick them and then complain about them.
Hey, men decide who gets married.
True. but individually, man and woman decide who you want to be with. You're not forced in relationships with people. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel no sympathy for you when you say, "Well, this happened to me," and or I ain't about to deal with no chick who this is and that. This, well, just don't deal with her then. Like you got to explain why you don't want to deal with something that you don't want to deal with. You got to explain that to me. If I don't want to deal with something, I ain't dealing with it. Feel like that.
Absolutely, man. Yep.
Feel like that. I don't care how fine she is. I'm not dealing with it. Like it is what it is. Because I'm not going to be. I'm not going to put myself in a predicament where I'm going to complain later about it. So common sense, right? That's taking accountability as an adult. So me, I believe that a man should take the bulk of the bills. That
Mm-hmm.
50-50 living arrangement shit, I think that it doesn't benefit men. I think at some point women are going to resent you for making them pay 50-50 with you. And like they're gonna be looking at it like this. This is how they look at it. Why am I going 50-50 when it's a grown ass man in my house?
Yep. Yep.
Right?
And this is what women complain about right here. Damn, we just gonna we kind of harping on the man a little bit, but this is what women complain about right here is that the need or the want you want 50-50, right? A 50-50 relationship, but still want the woman to put in the work as if it was 100% you.
Right.
Meaning
Ah, I
50-50
see what you're
relationship.
saying. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
you.
yeah, right? So like
Yeah.
imagine a woman going 50-50 but still doing all you can agree or disagree, still doing all the work in the house, cooking, the kids, blah blah blah. Like women don't want to come home. I know I don't want to come home to just do some more work that's not split 50-50 because men feel like it's beneath. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that. Like, I don't understand. Like, that makes 100%. That makes total sense to me. Like, that I wouldn't want to deal with that either in my spouse.
All right.
But I think in order to get the most respect from a woman, you have to take on most of the responsibility. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Like,
If you want your household to be ran at to a degree where you're going to be respected, right? You need to be able to be paying 80 to 90% of the shit that's going on in your household. So that way you're 'cause ain't no telling that it's gonna go your way, but most of the time it's gonna be like, well, if you paying 80 to 90% of the shit, then you can run the household the way you need to run it. Right, you know what I'm saying? At that point,
hmm
you in a predicament to run the household. How you gonna run it? Now, if she still got a problem with that, then ain't the chick you should be dealing with.
absolutely,
If
man.
she
I mean,
ungrateful and entitled, and she's still trying to do shit outside of what it is that you're trying to work, what you got going on in your household. At that point, she ungrateful and entitled, and at that point, she can go about her business. But for a woman who be like, look, all I just want to do to be on his shit. And if you on your shit, she ain't gonna do nothing but fall right into the background and be like, look, I got you. And then a dynamic of a chick that is like, look, I see you paying everything, so I got you in other areas. So
yeah,
like,
man. I have to, I have to talk about my own marriage for a little
all right,
bit. So like, I've been blessed enough to. I've been blessed so much to the point where even when my wife did work, she still came home and did everything that a housewife would do. Honestly, not
all right,
saying that, not saying that I didn't help. You know what I'm saying? And I did, but she was still willing enough to not complain. She ain't bitch about it. She still did those things for me. So in a way, she may have felt that I provided enough in a way, even though it was still may have been 60-40 or 50, whatever you want to call it, right?
right,
I have provided enough in a way where she's still comfortable for doing these things for me. You
right,
know, like in the beginning of our marriage, it was completely like 100% me being in the military. So those 4 years, it was 100% me. And then when I got out, that continued for a little bit, but then I had to start working and stuff.
yeah,
We split some in the bills, and that carried on for I don't know another 5 or so. And
mm-hmm.
then now it's back to
Nope,
my bad. It's back to me taking care of everything, you know,
right,
and she she take care of the home. I tell her she don't have to work. You know this. She don't have to work. If she wants to work, she wants to work, and she wants to work. So if she wants to work, she can work. But whatever money she makes, it's hers. It's not mine.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
that's that's typical. Like I said, if you dealing with a chick who you put her in those predicaments, she still ain't rocking the way you want to rock. You just get rid of her, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
no point in complaining. Like at this point, it's like as a man, bro, all that bickering and going back and forth with women, trying to like prove your point, all that kind of shit. That shit is like nothing. Like you don't need to be doing
Yeah,
none of that.
like
Like all that trying to
honestly,
prove your point and trying to like
your worth.
explain to them, like yeah, trying to prove your worth, prove your points, like trying to get women to fall in line. Like ain't nobody trying to get nobody to fall in line. Either you gonna fall in line or you gone.
Or
Like
not.
you know
That's
what
it.
I'm saying? Like yeah. So
Skedaddle. We out of here.
it's a wrap. So like what I say, and I think it's maybe a younger, probably the younger guys, because they still in the mind frame of how we probably was when we was in our early 20s and late teens, that we want stuff to go our way, and we assume things supposed to go a certain kind of way, and you
Yeah,
start
but we
realize,
woke up though. We woke
yeah,
up in our
we
20s. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? These guys are older with the same mindset.
they just don't realize that, because even though I know a lot of male guys that I've hung out with, been friends with, that I know that just have these deep issues with women. But some of the deep issues they have with women is more reflective of them than it is the actual women. So I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, like, are you in the most optimal state you can be as a man to say this kind of shit you say about women? No, I'm serious. Like, like, come
That's
on,
funny.
bro. Like, let's be realistic here. Like, because as a man, you will know, like, I need, because regardless on men or women need to be feeling like they don't have to offer shit to the opposite sex. You do. So as a man,
Mm-hmm.
we know for a fact what is the things that we need to offer to the opposite sex. So if you as a man think like, oh, I ain't gotta offer shit to her, she needs to just fall in line. Like that
Just
ain't
do.
how it work. Like yeah, that ain't
Come on.
how it work, bro. You gotta have something going for yourself so she can see how she could fall in line with the shit you got going on. So if you got a car, you got a house, you got a nice paying job, you working towards some goals. That's something somebody can look at, like, he got something he got going on, he got some shit working for him. I can get with that. But if you like, I'm living in my mom's crib and these hoes ain't shit, like, or I ain't got no job. I ain't had no job in 2 years, but these hoes ain't shit though. They always cheating on a nigga. Like, of course, bro, you ain't got nothing to offer them. You know, they gonna use and abuse you. They can use and abuse a nigga who got stuff to offer. But I'd rather have something to offer to be sitting around bashing women with nothing to offer them.
You have to perform. You have to perform, man.
So it's like I learned that like maybe mid 20s. I started to learn like I can't just exist. Like if I want what I want, if I want things to go the way I want it to go, I have to like build that for myself first, and then
Mm-hmm.
the right woman to realize like, okay, he got something going on for us. I have to be active in my own life as far as like things I'm trying to accomplish, goal driven, still working towards getting more money, and putting yourself in a predicament to put your to get your money up, to get your life up, to expand and learn new things. And so then you got to be doing stuff like you know what I'm saying, to some degree.
I just had this thought in my head, man.
What's that?
And I realized something. Like where did I get the idea of wanting to provide, right? I didn't
Who
get that
knows?
from I, like you know what I'm saying? Like at some
Right.
point I just know that I have to for
It
some
came
reason.
to
Like as a
yeah.
man, you just know you have to do something. Like why are you
Right.
gonna you can't be a slob, can't be at your mom's house, you have to do something. And I was just thinking to myself, I did not get that from my dad. I didn't.
Me either.
I didn't get that from my dad. And I realized just now that my dad used to live with his mom, my grandma, for he was 50 something years old, 40 something years old, living with my grandma.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I never realized that like maybe maybe I had a lack of respect for him because of that,
Okay.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. But I just always thought like why is he living with my grandma? You know what I'm saying? But
Oh man, yeah, he had his own reasons.
maybe he did, but my grandma was straight. It's not like, the type of elderly person that mom needs help.
Yeah.
She was fine in her later years.
Yeah.
But I don't know, somewhere I developed that need to just provide and perform from
Hmm.
the beginning of our marriage. That's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? But Uh, wait, what's the first thing? Yeah. When
We
I'm
on line.
paying.
We go off topic sometimes with this page. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get the topics flowing. We go off topic, but to bring it back to what we talking about, the dynamic of 50-50. Just man, that this dynamic does not benefit you. I don't care how much you argue it. I don't care how much you don't agree with it. Pick better women. The 50-50 arrangement shit does not, especially in this day and age, it's not going to work well
It's
for you, bro.
not.
Unless the chick.
Even if you when we think about, you know, marriage and divorce,
Mhm.
uh, would you rather be in a marriage where it's 50-50, and then you leave, whatever, and then half your stuff is gone, or would you rather do the most of the responsibility and have that provide 100%,
Disclaimer though.
and yeah, yeah,
Disclaimer though. I don't want to say 50-50 relationships don't work,
no,
because there
it's
do
not.
work. They do work for certain relationships. Like if that's how the man and the woman roll, and that's what they built their relationship off of. It can work. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that
But
it's not possible.
right.
It's
But it
possible with the right person.
yeah.
That's the thing.
But y'all also gotta both be being selfless, which sometimes that's hard to find. It's two people in a relationship being selfless towards each other,
I just
because
explained that earlier. Yeah.
we in a era of selfishness, not
Mhm.
selfless. Like a lot of people out here are kind of gunning for themselves and trying to figure out what predicaments they can put themselves in, so they can only solely benefit from it, and not trying to like, because as a leader, like you said, like as a leader in the 50-50 thing, like if I'm doing most of the work, I want my woman to benefit from what I'm doing. I'm not doing it because I want to control her. I want her to benefit,
Mhm.
so she can
Yeah.
so she can have the freedom to do what she want to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
in terms that's going to make her happy. You know what I'm saying? Most people out here will say like, "Well, I don't let my woman work." You know what I'm saying? My girl ain't been working for a while, and she's just in a better mood. I mean, of course she got her
Mhm.
days because she's pregnant,
Mhm.
but still, like, uh,
Like with my wife, right? She has the option to. I think that's what women like. You have the option to do something.
yeah,
Like what if a woman can only work and not have the option to stay at home, or a woman that can stay at home and, you know, I guess, not work. But if working makes them happy, let them do it.
right,
If staying home doing something else, have their own hobbies or small business, something, like, let them do it. You
right.
know what I'm saying? It's what that makes them happy, then let them.
I agree. I agree.
Which kind of brings to mind this whole happy wife, happy life thing.
Yeah,
The goddamn lie,
yeah.
right? The goddamn lie is another one of the biggest lies that we tell
It was another,
men
it was just another fucking saying
to
uh,
get men to be simps
yeah,
almost.
right, to basically get men to abide by women's fucking needs and wants,
Every
and
need,
right, and
every
that
need.
ain't, it's not had no
It's
motherfucking life or no say so or nothing. It's like that's typically the whole ideal of being a simp, was to be like,
regardless of it being reciprocated on your behalf.
exactly, and that's weak as hell to me. Like you know damn well, because I've been there, and I'm pretty sure we all been there. Like you know damn well, I'm not about to sit around in an environment where I'm not getting my needs met and I'm unhappy. Because I've been there. I've been in an environment where I was unhappy and I still was trying to like fulfill someone else's needs and wants, even though I was personally unhappy. So I was like, that shit don't work,
Mhm.
bro. So I learned like never
Mhm.
put my personal happiness, put my personal happiness first. That doesn't mean ignore my woman, but that means that the things that I do that I personally enjoy, do them. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? All the as much
Yep.
as you can, do them. Gym,
Yep.
video games, music, whatever it is
Yep.
that you enjoy, whatever your hobbies is, do them, bro. As much as you can, as often as you can. And the chick that you wish you
And
realize, well, that's just what he like to do. That's
yeah,
just
and
what
let's
he
be
love to do.
honest. If the a woman will lose respect for you the less complex you are,
Right.
right? So if you are, what's the word, predictable,
Yeah.
that they're gonna not respect you that much because they know exactly what you're gonna do when you're gonna do it, and
Hmm.
there's no, I guess, curiosity. to you. You're just you.
Yeah, stale bread, boy.
Yeah, you know.
but,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
but yeah, man. So this has been a good conversation with my boy Dad. We've been rocking for about an hour now. But it seemed like ain't
That
nobody
went
really in here
fast.
rocking with us. Yeah, this is normally
It's
how
all
we do it.
good.
It's normally how
Oh,
we do it
word.
though. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? We go have them back. The next time maybe we have them back with the gang on here too.
Got
And
to. Got to, man.
yeah. So yeah, man, it's another episode of Mansplainitthen, Prince Code Gang, my Dev. But we gonna get up out this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Remember, subscribe, follow the channel, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel, follow the Facebook page, you know what I'm saying? Comment, share, do all y'all can to keep this junk rocking because we doing this for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But on that note, we're gonna be out this thing, bro.
All right, y'all. It's Dev. It was a good session that we got in right here. I'll
Shit.
see y'all on the next.
All right, brother.
We good.